Hello, all. It's Tuesday, June 8th, and I'm back with another trading journal. My trading day is done at the moment, quick trading day. And there's a couple of ways that I figured that out. For today in particular, I trade on Webull, and all of the funds that you trade with on Webull, at least for options, settled the next day. So I trade 35% of my portfolio's cash each day. So I traded through that 35% of my portfolio's cash. So that cash will, settle tomorrow, and any, gains that I've had will account for whether there's an increase in the amount of funds that I trade with or a decrease, because it's always just taking 35% of whatever my portfolio is. So in that case, I am done for today. I took some trades on larger price stocks, which is why I kind of traded through that quicker. But I would say today was not the best trading day. Still in the green, but I've just, not the best, but a lot of lessons to talk through. So let's start with App Harvest, APPH here. So this trade I entered here on this candle. And, according to the strat, you really should be entering on the 2-2 reversal, which would have been on this candle here. The next one gapped up. I wasn't able to get an options contract here, but I had some higher place targets, which is why I was confident on getting in on this trade. So I entered here on this 2 up. Not much thought process needed in terms of holding and moving up my stop. Each time the open, gapped up a bit from the close. So in this case, closed 1879, opened 1884, closed 1889, opened 1893. So we had a 2-1-2 continuation as well, but pretty weak because the initiating 2 was doji-like. I used that to just say, it's not a complete doji. It did not open and close at the same price, but very, very tight range. And let's talk about where I got out. So I actually got out on a hammer. And as you can see, it did build itself up. I've been playing around with using the 3-minute and 1-minute as exiting positions. So I enter on the 5 always, but I've been looking at the 1-minute and the 3-minute and trying to use those in my trading to get more precise exits. It kind of hurt me in this sense. It did go this was a 2-2 reversal. And also this was a shooter. This was a shooter and a hammer. As you know, a shooter, means it's signifying higher price rejection to higher prices tested. So that, that price would shoot down to the lower pivots. So that's why I was confident to get out on this 2 down, because it went 2 down and we had a shooter. But, it shows you. I would like to study this trade in particular more and get some opinion from expert stratters, because I don't know that I've seen that. A shooter, hammer followed right by a shooter. I will say the hammer was also red. So that's why I was pretty confident to get out here, but it did build up, but then it did drop as well. So maybe this was just early signs, because I am on the 5-minute here. So maybe this was just early signs of dropping. And now that I say that, I want to go ahead and take a look at the hour and see what it looked like at that point. Okay, so all of that was in the span of, it was pretty, yeah, I'd say the 2 up had tested higher prices, tested lower prices, and ultimately was more in the middle. So I kind of see this as almost a 3 hour, which would make sense why you'd see something like that on the 5-minute, because it's, testing both highs and lows. As we can see live, got a hammer 2 down, and it is building itself up again. But ultimately, this was a 33% gain. So this was actually my best trade of the day. So let's move on. Now we're taking a look at EAT. So this was a 3% gain, and this was a bit of a choppy ride. So I entered here. This was an inside candle turned 2 up that I entered on, really you should be waiting for the you know, the one to change on the candle that's the next one that flips. But I got in here on the 2 up, so that would have been a 222 bullish continuation. But again, this was pretty doji like. I like when the top of the opening range is beneath the high range of my orb strategy. So these blue lines represent average daily range. This yellow line represents the top of the range of what the stock is traded at in the first 30 minutes of the day. So in this case, it broke first 30 minutes of the day on the flip candle, and that kind of played into why I got in. So it was above my average daily range, and it broke this on the flip. So I saw that as a bullish sign to get in. I held, it hit a price target. I held through this inside, and I ultimately got out on this 2 down. I actually got out before it went 2 down on the 5-minute, which is why I probably still would have had a 3% gain, but I didn't get out all the way down here. I got out like closer to here. And again, me experimenting using the 3-minute and 1-minute to exit positions. I got a little bit more of a precise early exit because it went 2 down on the 3-minute before it went 2 down on the 5-minute. It was an inside candle still. And yeah, that actually was a good point to get out because it continued to go down. But, not a lot of gain here. And, when you think about day trading, you want to get in and out of trades quickly so you can, at least trades that aren't giving you a lot of upside. So this was 30 minutes worth of trading. And it looks like 0.89% gain in stock price, 56 cents. When you're dealing with these larger price stocks, 56 cents that on a lower price stock might be, a larger gain on your options contract. But in this case, that was a 3% gain. Okay, let's move on to the next play. So this is Dave & Buster's. I got in on this 2 up here. And again, this is an inside candle that went 2 up. The strat tells you what to do in terms of continuations, reversals, what's actionable signals, what's known truths with inside candles. So I am here playing around and deviating from that, and I learned today that I really shouldn't do that. So I do not plan on doing that again. But I was testing today what it would look like to trade an inside candle that is going to up. So really you need to trade the, 2-1-2s. So looking at an inside candle and then trading on the next candle based on what it does. A candle that's inside and going up isn't really going to do much for you. And that was another case here. So, on EAT, I had a 3% gain. On play, I had a 2% gain. So I entered here. I held through this 2 up. I held through this 2 up. I got out on this 2 down. I got out before it actually went 2 down on the 5-minute. So again, when it was still an inside candle, let's see what this note says. When it was still an inside candle and went 2 down on the 5-minute. Okay, so I meant to say when it was still an inside candle on the 5-minute and it went 2 down on the 3-minute. So I got out on the 3-minute around here, and that allowed me to still have a 2% gain and not a loss. So I like this idea of using the 1-minute and 3-minute to exit positions, but I'm not going to play with my entries in that way. And that's kind of what I was doing by, trading an inside candle on the 5-minute before it goes 2 up, because oftentimes on those lower time frames, it's already 2 up on the 3-minute and the 1-minute. But yeah, I like it for exits, not for entries. So that was a 2% gain. Moving on to FTCH. This is my loss for the day. So I entered correctly, according to the strat, on the 2-1-2 reversal, which was right here. And the strat would have told me to exit here. I ultimately held because, I just wanted to. I actually don't know why I held. This is why these trade journals are good, because really this is you know, a two down, 2-2 bearish continuation and a rev strat here. So I really should have gotten out here. And if I had gotten out here, my losses, yeah, they would have been less. I ultimately held and saw this 2-1-2 reversal, bullish reversal, and it did go a little higher, but that was enough for me. I'm like, okay, let me just get out here, because it wasn't a very strong reversal. As you can see, it did ultimately just go up a little bit and then tank. So yeah, this was a 5% loss. And that is it for today. So thank you all for watching. Please hit me with any questions in the comments section, like, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow.